Jam into this music. And we're live. Faces showing. Smile for the camera. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Man, that is some good music by River, I tell you what. All right, let's go ahead and just dive into it.
Have we should have better.
Huh? You cut out.
We should. I was just thinking we should add that into the. Well, we gotta change our intros, outros.
Yeah, I figured we'd do that when we'd plug them when we change our intros and outros. We just haven't sat down and listened to the music and stuff yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's just dive in. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me as always is WildTwinsFan. How you doing this week, Wildy?
Good. A nice weekend.
Happy Valentine's Day, bro.
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day. So yeah, we're recording on Valentine's Day today, guys. Hey, you're kind of half my Valentine's, not my full-on Valentine's, but you know
big boy.
Yeah. This week I think we're going to talk a little bit about Google changing directions with Stadia. Also going to talk about Battlefield 2042 and players petitioning for refunds, and we talked about this before, guys. So we'll get into a little bit again on buying the games, and then banter items. We're going to talk big story. Jessica Blevins saying she wants to transition away from managing her husband Ninja, focus on building her own brand. I'm sure they're hurting for money, so. And then we got McDonald's is going to open restaurants in the Metaverse, and also talking about Western Digital had a big oopsie and what that might mean for prices in the future here. And also talking a big story about Pokimane signed off for last Twitch broadcast the other day, saying, "Hey, I'll see you in a week," basically, and my Twitch contract is done. and I'll see you in a week with an announcement. So we'll cover what that announcement had to say in the podcast, and we're also going to cover YouTube Shorts and some of the changes there, and YouTube making it a little bit more lucrative for the short content creators. So we'll look into the changes there.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about that piece because that's a lot of our whole MO on this channel is, we like to share people's gaming moments. So we obviously produce a lot of shorts and stuff. So we'll get into that when that topic comes up. But first, let's go ahead and dive into Google changing direction with Stadia. So I was one of the first Google Stadia adopters, Waldy, and I saw a really awesome platform. I bought the founders pack that came with the controller, the Chromecast Ultra, all that good stuff, and then lo and behold, like 6 months ago, I canceled my subscription to it just because I wasn't playing it. There was a lot of times where like there would be lag to the servers, and then on top of that, paying for Xbox Ultimate, you get the online streaming platform from there as well. So there was kind of a lot of crossover on that, but they're not necessarily getting rid of Stadia, but what they're doing is they're rebranding it to what's called Google Stream, which has already been kind of like a white label service to companies like Peloton. Like if you own a Peloton, anything that you're viewing on that Peloton screen is actually running through like the Google Stadia service. Bungie was actually looking into it. I'm not sure how the Sony purchase is affecting that now, because Sony is pursuing their own game streaming platform, and Capcom is actually looking at using it, and AT&T used it when they ran their promotion for Wildy, do you remember what game it was?
It was a Batman game, like a Arkham Knight or something
Yeah,
like that.
Batman Arkham Knights. So yeah, they were using Google Stadia as a white label service to run that promotion, and this is kind of.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, so now they're kind of just passing it off to other companies to do kind of the heavy lifting on the things. So now you can play bigger titles on your phone, which is obviously not going to handle a AAA PC game or stuff like that, or just the ability to do a little bit more heavy lifting. It'd be interesting to see if they did some of the like we talked about earlier on the potential to Stadia. It'd be interesting to see if they did like some of those big like games with like destructible environments and stuff like that. Like even those games would crush even my computer with being pretty darn powerful. Will just crush them because there's so much number crunching and stuff like that. It'd be kind of interesting to see if some of those games will step up, and or who's gonna use Google's power to move their technology forward. So um overall, I'm a little disappointed. Like Google does this, and we've talked about this. They jump into a project. They're all heavy, and I don't know. They're kind of like they're a little bit like the girlfriend that's always got a new boyfriend, or the vice versa, whatever. Everything's great in the honeymoon period, and then it's just like the love fades, and they're on to the next project. And Google does that with a lot of things, and now they're doing it with Stadia, which is kind of disappointing. But yeah, is it Microsoft that's kind of sticking the knife in the back of all these services? Because it's you're starting to get kind of a hard sell on me, because I don't know if I want a one device thing, like, yeah, I don't know.
For me, I think Microsoft is killing it, and the reason being is on their game streaming platform, they're constantly releasing new games to that platform from their repertoire of games. And I mean, we now have Activision Blizzard games that could potentially be going on there after the acquisition closes. You have all of their old games, from just Xbox, the original Xbox, and then Xbox 360. Like I play Skate 3 on through the browser, through the Xbox Stream service, and that's an Xbox 360 game, and I love that game. And there's still a lot of people on like Facebook gaming that actually does enjoy, and they stream and get a lot of viewers, Skate 3, which boggles my mind because the game is like 15 years old now, I think. So the fact that Google is now cutting back on this, and they've stated that they're not getting the revenue that they initially anticipated, that's huge. So I do think Microsoft is owning this space, and I think it's only going to grow more for them now that they're owning all of the, have these major developers underneath them.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Again, Google changing tide, and we're not really surprised here. A little disappointing. I'd like to see some more competition in the cloud gaming space, but it is what it is.
Business as usual for them.
So then, let's move on to Battlefield 2042, and we got a lot of people pissed off right now. A lot of people petitioning to get a refund on the game they already bought. All right, guys, we've talked about this. Don't go out and pre-order the games. Don't do it, right? You have opportunities to play these games. You have opportunities to have other people play these games and speak of their experiences. Dagon and myself, we've both used our Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, right? Which we're using for cloud gaming, regular gaming, Xbox gaming, to give us more game titles to play. That allowed us to have an EA pass that gave us 10 hours of Battlefield 2042 play for no additional money. So now I don't know a better way to. Now you can be there when the game launches. You're there the moment everyone's live with everything, and you have the opportunity then to play that game for 10 hours, with the pass I already pay, and you can get a premium pass and play it for unlimited hours, for a little bit more money. I think it's maybe an extra $10 or something like that. But that allows you to play their brand new AAA games as they come out. And you have a lot of opportunity to play these games without committing to your $60 or $100 package, to play the game. That's not going to be refundable. It's certainly not going to be easy to be refundable. Yeah, so just I don't know. It's just one of those things. Now everyone's upset.
When the game initially came out and the beta was out, like there was a lot of hype around it, and I was super excited. I mean, I've even got a clip in our YouTube shorts and on our TikTok of me shooting down a helicopter full of people, and it was like a 6 kill streak. The game had so much hype built up around it, and I think this is the downfall, because it was supposed to be the COD killer, is what it was supposed to be. And the fact that there's several things missing from the game that people really wanted, like a single player campaign, or standard multiplayer modes such as a team deathmatch, persistent lobbies, a class-based system, central US servers, a weapons test range. Like every FPS that I've played has some kind of test range where you can kind of get used to the guns, get used to the recoil, get used to bullet drop for snipers. Like these are basic quality of life things that most first person shooters should have. And they're just not doing it. And they've already come out and stated, hey, we're not releasing any quality of life updates or any updates period until the summer of 2022. And the game's been out, by that time the game will have been out like 8 months.
And it's so broken. Like I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to get ammo. I don't know how to get ammo in the game. Like, unless you put like the resupply kit on, I don't know how you ask for ammo. I don't even know how anything works in this game, because it's just it is so poorly spelt out, and I don't know. It really is a mess. The game itself is okay. It's got less vehicles in the game than it did in the launch. The maps are not really a war zone. I mean, the maps for there's a downtown map, and it's like if you walk downtown right now, it's summer, it's nice. There's no burning cars anywhere. Like immersion is not like you're not in a war zone. I don't know, there's not any really dynamic, you know, changes to that map that really make it turn it
Yeah,
into this big war zone or, the
there's no
immersion's
weather.
really lacking.
There's
Yeah.
no weather changes. It's the same experience over and over again, and I think that's why we enjoy PUBG, because it took them a while to do this. It took them, what, a couple years? I mean, the game's been out since 2017, and we finally got, different times of day. We got different weather situations. I think we've always had some kind of rain in the game, or at least as far back as I can remember. But the fact that you have the one map which has the big tornado on it, that was cool. That was the big selling point of the beta at the beginning before the game went out. But I think they really rushed putting this game out. They didn't fully think out the game before they launched it. I think that there was so much hype built up around it that they felt that they had to put something out, because it had been a while since they put out a decent game. Because I mean, you had Battlefield 1, you had the what was it, Battlefield World War II or whatever it was, the one right before this, Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 5 was decent at best, but if you ask the community, Battlefield 4 is the best Battlefield game that they've come out with, is the last good Battlefield game that they've come out with. And they've had like knockoff ones like Battlefield Hardline, where it was like a CSGO style, like anti-terrorist kind of deal. But they haven't this was supposed to be like their big comeback in the game. And like I said, the bar and the hype was set so high. I think people are let down because that bar was set so high.
I mean, I think realistically they'll get there, right? But they're not talking about when. They're not saying anything, and I get it. We're still mid a big pandemic, where it depends on where you live,
Mm-hmm.
how affected you are, but they're quite possibly working a lot from home still and stuff like that, and there's some challenges there, but there's no real transparency on what the issue is and why it's so bad and whatever. And it's now because of that, I mean, you had Cyberpunk that came out and issued refunds later on platforms, but people are calling for, because now they own the game, now they have no recourse, and and I don't necessarily agree with having to be able to get a refund. I don't really know, but like you probably shouldn't be able to refund the game after 3 months of owning it, but um you know sometimes the only way to make a real change is to kind of hit them in the pocketbook. So I don't know. They're at almost 200,000 signatures right now. Change.org. So a lot of unhappy people, and they need to do something. And saying that we're gonna do it this summer is not enough.
No, it's definitely not, and it's a big disappointment for the remainder, or for the rest of the people that actually spent their hard-earned money on the game. So guys, if you've been enjoying the podcast and would like to support us so we can keep creating more content, we've got a Patreon that you can visit at patreon.agamingmoment.com. Become a patron and gain exclusive benefits such as early access to episodes, monthly AMAs, and an additional monthly bonus episode. So sign up today.
So then, kind of a big story that blew up here this week on Twitter was the announcement that Jessica Blevins says that she wants to transition away from managing Ninja and focus on building her own brand. So if you guys aren't familiar who Jessica Blevins is, Jessica Blevins is Ninja, the streamer's wife, and she's been his manager really from day one. And she's very active, and she's definitely been involved in a lot of beefs,
She's
and,
too
and, and
active.
and a lot of manager stuff, but yeah, maybe a little bit more hands-on. Maybe she's a little more emotionally driven because it's her husband, and like I get it, right? Like, you're gonna come after me and my family, you got probably get a more charged up version of Wild. So anyways, they're talking about that and her stepping down, and there was a big another beef with Pokimane and this Jadian, and kind of a, let's like a hate raid almost. And I never really get fully into the story, but then Ninja gets wrapped up in, because he's friends with the guy that did this raid that wasn't very nice. And like, he was gonna help him out, and it's like Jessica just went off the you know off the tip, and she's mailing Pokemon and DMing her, and there's legal threats and stuff flying and stuff like that. And it's kind of been, it's been a wild ride. But what's your take on this, Day?
For me, if you're a manager of somebody, your goal is to preserve their image and their brand. If I was big enough to have a manager, that's my expectation from my manager. Don't do anything that's going to discredit my brand and my image. And like you said, she is emotionally driven because she is Ninja's husband, or Ninja's wife, excuse me. She is Ninja's wife. But you need to know when to separate the emotional side from the business side. And going after people in defense of your husband, that's fine. Going after people in defense of your cousin, going after people in defense of your client, that's a different story. So there's a professional and a personal level. And I think the problem is here is she's mixed professional and personal too much. And like you said, she's been in a lot of beefs. She got in a beef with XQC, um, over who donated more, blah blah blah. I think we kind of
Yeah.
covered that in a previous episode of the podcast. So I think it's a good idea that she is stepping down from Ninja, being Ninja's manager. I think it can only help Ninja to get himself a professional manager, somebody who, yeah, you're gonna have to pay a portion, a cut of your revenue to that person, but I think you're gonna have better opportunity because that person knows more people in the industry or can get you the deals that you want to get. And don't get me wrong, she's done a great job. Jessica's done a great job with Ninja thus far. I mean, what, she landed him the big Red Bull deal. She helped land him the big Mixer deal that basically set them up for life. So I'm not saying that she did a bad job, but there's too many track records of just bad publicity stunts like this that have put a stain on Ninja's name. Not just her name, but Ninja's name.
Yeah. And I think overall, I think for me, that's kind of the issue. Like, having your wife as your manager, sounds like a good idea. It's probably his best friend, biggest confidant in the world, or, stuff like that. Like, that's all good. And on paper, that's all good. But sometimes you need to be able to distance yourself from that manager, distance yourself from that situation. And I think there's a point in time where it actually just kind of becomes bad business to have your wife. It just becomes bad business to have your wife as your manager, and you need to just kind of hold on.
Having puppy problems.
I got the dog here. He's needy. He doesn't need anything. He was just out. He just wants to be on the podcast, and I'm not allowing it.
It's all good.
So all I'm just saying is, as your wife, your husband, whoever, being that close and managing someone, you have to be able to separate yourself from the situation sometime. And because it's his wife, you can't really separate yourself from your manager like you need to in a business at times, and be able to say, all right, maybe sometimes you can take your manager, throw him under the bus a little bit, right? To for your brand, my manager overstepped the bounds, and I'm sorry for that, and I will take care of that. A little bit harder to do to say, my wife did that, and so it's a good decision, I believe, on both their part. Um, like I said, they're hurting for money, I'm sure. So it's probably good that she goes out and does her own thing. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're not. And but it's time for her to step up and do something on her own, or not, or retire and live in the glory and whatever. But so it's a good decision overall. So I wish them the best. And we're hiring managers, Jessica. We can't pay, but hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah, we could definitely use a manager. Hit us up at a gaming moment on all social channels, and we'll listen to your proposal. So building on last week's episode, Wild, I came across this McDonald's, and not just McDonald's, but this was the big one. McDonald's is planning to open restaurants in the metaverse. So we're gonna see Big Mac NFTs coming out soon.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I get where they're going, right? Everyone's gonna want to be in the metaverse, and everyone's gonna want to have their brand and whatever represented in the metaverse. But um, I I don't know. I don't know that I need to go to a digital McDonald's and digitally order. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna be able to order online and get food delivered to my house. Maybe that there's a piece there, but I don't know. Whatever.
So from what I've read, they've filed 10 trademark applications indicating its plans to offer a virtual restaurant featuring actual and virtual goods, and operating a virtual restaurant featuring home delivery. So it could be, I mean, like we talked about last week, Metaverse, VR, it's all just this digital space that we live in. You're listening to us. We're technically in the Metaverse as we're conversing right now. When you order something on the McDonald's app and have it delivered, or order something on Uber Eats and have it delivered, that's Metaverse, bro. So yes, you could technically have physical goods come to your house from ordering it online. That's basically all it is. You're basically shopping online. But again, the reason why we bring this up is because Metaverse right now is such a buzzword in the gaming and tech community, because Facebook rebranded to Meta, and that they were gonna really push this Metaverse idea to really try to sell more Oculuses and whatnot. But you're gonna be able to get like downloadable multimedia files, artwork, audio, video files, NFTs. Like that this is what the patents are going for. And then on top of that, Panera, which if you're not familiar, Panera bread,
Delicious.
yes, Panera has filed a trademark application indicating the company will offer virtual restaurants and cafes under what they're calling the Paneraverse, which is just a dumb play on words on me, but it's these NFTs are blowing up, and everybody's trying to get in on it, and it's no surprise that McDonald's is jumping in on it, because McDonald's is legit one of the biggest brands in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it. No different than product placement in your favorite movies and stuff like that. But yeah, whatever.
Coming to America.
I mean, if I can actually order McDonald's to my house, not that I'm a big McDonald's fan, I'm a little bit more interested in the idea. But
I also came across this week, Waldy. This is going to be big for anybody wanting to upgrade storage or build a new machine or anything like that. It was actually off of a tweet that I saw from Linus Tech Tips. They put this out, and it was like a little meme tweet, but Western Digital lost 6.5 billion gigs. That's a lot of space in NAND drives because of contamination in one of the factories. That's nuts. Like you cannot. I have no words for that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a problem. I think they're projecting it could even be up to a 10% price increase, which is fairly significant when, you know,
If you're trying to buy a
yeah,
two
when this
terabyte,
stuff,
if you're trying to buy a 2 terabyte SSD, those things are going for what, $200-300 right now. So that's an additional $20 to $30 on top of, extra that you're having to pay on top of all these insanely expensive GPU prices.
yeah,
So it's crazy, and the contamination of the materials used in the manufacturing process appears to have been detected in late January at two plants in Japan with their joint venture partner Kioxia, which was previously known as Toshiba. And it's the 3D flash, it's the 3D NAND flash memory that goes into the SSD. So expect SSD prices to soar, guys, and now is the time to buy your SSDs before they go up.
yep. So now we've talked a little bit about it, but Pokimane made this big dramatic, you know, sign off from Twitch the other day, kind of, you know, um, what's the future hold for Pokimane and
Hashtag clickbait.
or excuse me, what's the future hold for Pokimane? And so Pokimane went ahead and came back on a week later, where she come back on Twitch, you know. So Pokimane's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, so no real surprise there. I would have been a little bit shocked if she would have left Twitch, but because she's a pretty big Twitch fan and supporter, and she's got a great following there. Again, still Twitch being the best streaming platform out there. Well, I say that with an asterisk, but still the most popular. So no one's really excited there. One of the exciting stories is she's decided that she's going to give away a Tesla to a viewer,
That's how
and
you know you have too
so
much money. Like I'm just
yeah.
gonna
Well,
I'm gonna give away a $60,000 car to somebody.
didn't she stop? I think Pokimane stopped taking donations, or I think she disabled donations for her channel like sometime back.
I'd have to look back
Um,
into it, but I do recall hearing something about that. But like
yeah,
you said, she is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, along with like XQC and a couple others. I'm honestly surprised she didn't go to Big Red, Big Red being YouTube, because as stated by other creators, YouTube has more opportunity for revenue. So obviously she's made enough money in her career that and I guess she enjoys going live and doing the just chatting. Like it's just part of her normal daily routine. She's not actually sitting there for hours and hours grinding on video games like many creators.
yeah.
So maybe it's not as taxing on her schedule. That's the reason why she wanted to stay on Twitch. But I actually have a video going out on my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dagan07, where I'm going over kind of 5 reasons why streamers need YouTube. And it kind of stems off of, reasons that Tim the Tatman moved over to YouTube. One of the big reasons Dr. Lupo moved over to YouTube. And it's the fact that they can continue gaining revenue without having to be live. And
Yep.
I honestly, maybe she doesn't have that ambition to want to like record videos and post videos on YouTube and stuff like that. So maybe that's why she decided to stay on Twitch. Maybe she got a really good deal. There's been no numbers reported for the contract, but
I think she got a good deal. She's obviously not hurting for money, and she doesn't seem like she's one of those people that really needs and wants every penny and trying to get every dollar
she
and
feels a
stuff
little bit
like
more
that. She
humbled.
seems pretty, yeah, genuine and honest. It is, and I looked it up. She has a donation limit of $5. So the
Okay.
max you can donate to her is $5. So that's, because people still want to donate, and people donate to get their name on the stream, and they donate to actually get something that streamers gonna hear. So yeah. But pretty
And
interesting.
that's good for her. That shows that she's not greedy. You know, you have, I'm gonna bag on my guy, Dr. Disrespect, for a second. You see people donating hundreds or thousands of dollars to him, and he just does a kind of a quick, like, oh, thank you for your donation, thanks for the 5, or thanks for the $20, or thanks for the 150, thank you, and then moves on. They don't. A lot of these people have that hard-earned cash, and she just seems really humble by it.
For success.
Yeah, her success, and maybe she just genuinely enjoys hanging out on stream, hanging out with the community, and that, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch a Pokimane stream, and if that's the experience that you're getting, that is the gold standard streaming experience that you should be having on Twitch or on any streaming service, is just somebody wanting to just hang out with the community, make people feel good, and just talk. That's
Yeah.
the gold
Again,
standard experience.
Twitch is not a gaming platform as much as it is a social platform, and people can go there and connect and feel welcome and feel safe and stuff like that. So the drama that she's ever really been involved in is like a hate raid and stuff like that, where people are messing up the vibe of her stream. So I think overall she's a good person, and she's successful, and I'm glad to see all the above.
Yeah, same. And then finally, the last of the banter items here, one that, Wildy, I think we're kind of excited about as well.
Yep.
YouTube is adding new ways for creators to make money with shorts and shopping. So, as I stated at the top of the podcast, we put out a lot of shorts with clip submissions from you guys. We want to be able to amplify your brand and your reach through our community, and in turn it kind of helps us grow our community as well. And we put out a lot of shorts, we put out a lot of TikToks, Instagram reels, because we want to, like I said, amplify your brand, your reach, and your gameplay or your moments. It's sometimes not even gameplay, sometimes it's just funny moments on stream, and we want to be able to put that out there for people to find, so that you can grow as a streamer or you can grow as a content creator yourself. But this ultimately impacts us, and the we haven't made it to the point yet where we can monetize our YouTube channel yet. We're still relatively a new channel. We're still getting discovered. We're doing what we can. But this gives us another opportunity, another avenue, if you will, to take the things that we love doing, which is making these short form videos and posting them, and being able to cover costs of things like hosting for the podcast, just quality things like that. And this is going to help a lot of other smaller creators who might not have their 1,000 subscribers or their 4,000 watch hours, but this still gives them an opportunity to make revenue off of YouTube. And this is awesome that YouTube's doing this.
I mean, ultimately, too, it's hard to put out content that's an hour, 10 minutes. 10 minutes is kind of the gold standard on YouTube to hit kind of some of the metrics and stuff like that. And it's hard to put out, a full gameplay that reaches that's engaging, that's good. Plus the time involved to edit something like that. It's tough. That's why a lot of content creators are full-time content creators. If you're a part-time small guy trying to make it, like, you need that momentum to get big to allow you to, the time, the money, the whatever, the resources to make good content. And showing the shorts gives you a little bit of all of that, without all the commitment. You can bang out a short in pretty 10 15 minutes and make it look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And you got content up there that's gonna stay up there, that's gonna be engaging, that's gonna look good, people are gonna watch. And now if you can make money from that, now you're starting to be able to monetize your brand and grow with that. So kind of what I get out of this, the biggest takeaway on this for me is that shorts are here. Vine didn't do real well. It did all right for a while, but now it's like, shorts are kind of they're a longer Vine. They're meant to be a short little content, a little zinger or something fun or whatever that's a minute long. Now YouTube's only a minute. TikTok, I think we're up to 3 minutes on clips if you want. So we'll see if that changes with YouTube. It is a little bit hard if we're gonna cross post a clip between um, Twitch and or excuse me, if we're gonna cross post tw- if we're gonna cross post a twit. Oh gosh, a cross post from TikTok and YouTube, then we kind of maintain that it's a minute long. So
Mm-hmm.
that can be tough. Like when I play Search and Destroy, a round can be like 3 minutes. So it's a little bit tough to sometimes break that down to a minute of really good stuff. So we'll see if that changes that. But I mean, if you guys aren't invested, if you're not doing the TikTok thing, you're not doing the YouTube short thing, if you want to grow your brand, I really honestly believe that's a big channel of exposure and all the above, and now it can be monetized, and now it can be monetization of your channel, to help you get tools or afford more tools or afford advertising or whatever you're going to do to reinvest into your brand. It's just saying to me that um, there's a lot of big buy-in. If again, Google's got the buy-in right now. Let's take it. Let's run with it. um, TikTok doesn't seem to have really a system in place to monetize that I've figured out yet. Aside from side contracts with so and so
Yeah.
and product placements and stuff like that, but nothing through the actual really platform themselves so much.
For me, what this signifies is if the US decides to ban TikTok for whatever reason because it's a Chinese-owned company, there's conspiracy theories out there that TikTok and China are just trying to, gather your information, get more information about you or what's going on in society and whatnot. If the US decides to ban TikTok, you have a safe place to kind of go and lean back on. I'm gonna plug this again in the video that I'm gonna be releasing on my channel, about 5 reasons why streamers need YouTube. This is one of those reasons. A short can go viral at any second. You're getting your video out in front of more people, and it's not necessarily that they're looking for it. It's kind of like the For You page on TikTok. It's not necessarily a specific category. It's just if you've seen videos that are like it, or it's in the genre that you like, or a category that you like, there's an opportunity for that video to pop up in front of really anybody's face. For instance, we've had shorts that have gotten 15, 20 views only, and we've had shorts that have gotten 11,000 views in less than 24 hours. So really, any short can go viral, and it can help amplify your reach, your brand, and then to be able to monetize this is a huge thing.
I agree.
So we got one follow up this week. Sony's biggest concern with the acquisition of Activision and Blizzard by Microsoft is they were worried that Call of Duty as a franchise would become an Xbox exclusive. Now, Microsoft says that it's going to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement, which would be beneficial to them because that's more money coming in from various other sources. So, Wild, what do you think? Do you think Microsoft's going to hold on to that promise, or do you think they're going to have certain things like certain DLCs, maybe certain characters, certain weapons, certain skins that are Microsoft only?
Well, see, I think they can do kind of the Call of Duty thing if they really feel like they need to kind of boost their brand by exclusive content. They could make a DLC pack that you can only get on Xbox that maybe has Xbox skins or something like that, and make a cool skin. They could do it that way. They could also do it like Call of Duty did, where Xbox would get the DLC a month earlier
Mm-hmm.
than the other packs, than the other consoles. But with crossplay enabled, that's probably a harder push now, because you're just going to fracture. your game, your pool of players that can play on certain maps and stuff like that. So overall, I think that they're gonna have to play nice as they can when they acquire these companies, because if they start playing the hardball where they're gonna take and not allow certain things on other platforms, they're gonna get into the antitrust world, and especially with the FCC right now. The FCC's climate right now changes with who's in charge, but the FCC is really aggressive right now, going after monopolies and stuff like that. And I'm sure they're gonna be enough inquisitions about Microsoft taking over Activision here, just as far as monopolies and such go. So the I think their only course is gonna really be that they need to keep everything between platforms and stuff like that. And I think they recognize that, because that's going to limit their ability to grow, and acquire more companies, if they're not going to play nice like that. So,
Yeah. I would
and rightfully
assume
so.
I would assume it's one of the stipulations of purchasing of the FCC approving. I think they're still going through the approval process, but it would be one of I would think it's one of the stipulations to being approved, and we've talked about this, to being approved to make this kind of purchase to not become a monopoly. So
Yep.
they would have to make it kind of an open multi-platform deal. So yeah, they're gonna have to play nice with the other consoles or developers and systems. You know, is it gonna hurt them? No, I think it's gonna help them line their pocketbooks, because they'll still get that money from the PlayStation people. You're not forcing people to turn in their, trade in their consoles to get an Xbox, or move to PC or what have you. So I I think this isn't. I think this is going to be a non-issue. I think I'm confident Call of Duty is going to stay on PlayStation. They have a huge community on PlayStation.
Yep.
It'd be stupid to kind of anger that community, and then they just say F it and not play the game anymore.
Yeah. I think we all kind of agree on that. But furthermore, there's more legal reasons why that probably won't happen, just beyond them being the nice guy. So,
Yeah,
how's your timeline looking there, Dave?
I got to leave in
Do we need
15.
to just kind of? Okay.
So let's power through this real quick.
Okay.
Hey guys, if you
So,
haven't already
sorry. Go ahead.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. So do it.
So I got an Instagram post I'm just gonna talk about real quick. There's a couple phase streamers. They were talking about phase players. I can't remember the names off the top of my head there. And they were just talking about how Call of Duty is really famous for this, and I noticed this because I play Search and Destroy, and I'm not always running and gunning. It's a little bit more tactical, and you spend a little bit more time looking for people and stuff like that. But Call of Duty does a lot of stealth changes, and they don't tell you. They added a billboard, they added, they're constantly changing sight lines on so many maps, and I watched them do it 3-4 times on certain maps, Search and Destroy. And so there was a really good tweet out here, from FaZe Clan, and or Instagram post from the FaZe Clan, and yeah, it was pretty good, because they were talking about like a change on the standoff map from Black Ops 2, and they added a sign, and I know they added that sign. That sign was not there. I know the map well enough, but they're all like second guessing themselves, but they added it like recently. It's just weird to me, like that they go back in and change stuff like that. So, um follow the FaZe Clan, follow us on Instagram, and there's lots of fun little things there. In fact, we just posted a ton of great clips on Instagram too, so good to look at there. And then I just wanted to mention, we had a tweet this week that went pretty well. YouTube Gaming was talking about what what does a new streamer need to have, you know? And I just
What
posted
yeah,
a what
what are your tips for a first time streamer?
yeah, and I just posted, and we've talked about this. Just have yourself a checklist, and make sure you check everything when you go live on that stream. Check your audio, check your inputs, check all that stuff, because no matter how perfect you have it set, Windows is back there changing stuff, or whatever. And I got caught the other day. My mic was off for 10 minutes because I didn't stop and check. Do as I say, not as I do, but I know better.
Yeah.
And I got complacent, and my mic was finally fixed. But it's just one of those goofy things. So have a checklist when you go live. And a lot of people like to tweet. YouTube liked and replied to my tweet, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
So yeah, so like and reply to our tweets, see if we like your comments and stuff like that, because social media is fun, and we're definitely out working the social media pretty hard lately, guys. So get out there, engage us, join the community. Let's talk about some of this stuff. It doesn't have to be a weekly talk. I'm always online. I'm always checking socials and stuff like that. So engage us.
So
Let's have
while
some fun.
it's so while it's Valentine's Day, what are you doing for Valentine's Day for your wife?
We actually we booked a spa this last weekend, and we had massages. We didn't do the couples massage. I heard from some people that couples massages can be kind of weird sometimes. Sometimes there's some wife jealousy there, or husband jealousy, or whatever. And I thought that's not it's not really relaxing. I just want to be like in my own space, getting my massage and stuff like that. So first massage I've ever had. It was good. I don't know that I envision paying for another massage, but I'm not opposed to it.
I
It
do.
wasn't really my thing. I don't really feel like I'm an achy person, or that I need a massage, or I'm stressed, or I feel like life's pretty good, so I don't really hurt. It didn't do a lot for me. My wife loved it. We had we went to a Omni spa here in the Twin Cities, and it was fantastic. They took good care of us. It was nice and clean, and everything was spectacular. So I can't complain. But that was kind of our plan. Then we had caught dinner later at a nice Szechuan restaurant here
Mhm.
in the Twin Cities. If you follow our Instagram at Hunger Inspired on Instagram, you can see what we had for dinner and shared. And we had a good nice date, and it was a good time. How about you, Dave? What are you doing?
I am not doing anything. My wife and I came to an agreement many, many years ago because her birthday's really close to Valentine's Day. It's actually on the 23rd. That we don't, or I don't put any time or effort into Valentine's Day. I transition, that's what we're going to call it. I transition that time and effort for her birthday, the time, the money, the effort, everything. So, just giving her the best birthday experience that I possibly can. And so this year, unfortunately, we have other plans in the mix. So it's going to be kind of one of the lighter birthdays that she gets because we're going to Orlando during spring break to take my son for that. His birthday present was or is going to Universal Studios in Orlando. So we're going to be spending spring break. So spring break's like in 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So most of the funding and everything has gone to that trip.
Yep.
So I'll take her out for a nice dinner, and I might take her to some kind of show, like I don't know, I might take her to like the Houston Symphony or something if there's anything going on, or I'll figure something out. Don't let her know that I haven't figured it out yet. That's betwixt us. Um, so
All right. When you
but
listen to the podcast,
but yeah, we discussed a long time ago that, and she told me that she's like, I don't care about Valentine's Day. It's a Hallmark holiday. It's just a holiday for, certain companies to sell more, cards, and chocolate and candy companies to sell more candy. That's really all it's for. So, put all the time and energy to her birthday, and we'll call it square.
surprised you don't buy her a video game for Valentine's Day.
I did. It's called Dying Light 2.
There you go. It's kind of in the spirit of St. Valentine's Day massacre. Whatever.
So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Next week, we'll discuss the recent announcement of Call of Duty Warzone Pacific Season 2, which actually goes live today as of the podcast recording. So we'll have a little bit more idea on, the changes that are being made and the quality of life changes and what people think. It'll give us a little bit more time to dive into it. I plan on playing some more Call of Duty Warzone this week and weekend. And thank you guys for listening in. Consider our Patreon to support the podcast, and also by going to merch.agamingmoment.com and picking up some of that awesome gear that we have available. We have some hoodies, we have some t-shirts, we have some hats. I think we even have underwear and socks. Wild, I'd have to go back and look. I think we have underwear that you can have like a nice big gaming controller right on your butt.
Nice.
So subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and be sure to leave us a 5-star review of the podcast. Also, check back.
I want to say on that the reviews, guys. We need some reviews to get us boosted on these platforms. So please leave us a review. We really need that. If you guys made it this far in the podcast, right, you're still listening to us, drop us a review. It'd take you a minute. We love it. We appreciate it. But anyways.
Yeah, so also check back weekly for the next episode. And until next time, guys, keep grinding.
Sorry, I went.